Hey, what's going on? Today I want to try and use Richard Grannon's hand numeric technique to try and stop an emotional flashback. It's something I've used a lot of times very successfully to stop emotional flashbacks when I've had them. I've probably done it hundreds of times over the last 10 to 11 months, something like that. And I had PTSD, complex PTSD to clarify. Really, really bad. I've had it for probably 16 years, something like that. And I've made a ton of progress using this technique. I was doing EMDR before this. I made some progress using that technique as well. But that kind of left me in a state of having constant flashbacks for about a year. So that actually did some damage. And then I found Richard Grannon's technique, and it actually pulled me out of that. It stopped the flashbacks that I was having, and I've actually started progressing more along my recovery. So I've made a ton of progress using his technique, and I wanted to see if I could demonstrate it today. So this is going to be kind of crazy. What I'm going to try and do is induce a flashback by just talking about a traumatic memory. And then if I'm successfully able to do that, I'm going to use the hand mnemonic to bring myself out of it. And that should successfully prove to anybody that you're able to do it. So I guess what I'm going to talk about is the first trauma that I went through when I was 5 years old. I was just a little kid. I was with my mom. We were at a friend's house, like a family friend's house. We were in their kitchen, and we were just gathered around, cooking and having a nice time. And my mom and dad were going through a really bitter divorce at the time. And my dad was like pretty much missing from the picture. And he was out. He was kind of doing drugs at the time, I guess. So he was kind of, I don't know if he was strung out or what. I mean, I was 5 years old, so I don't really know. But we were there, and just sitting around having a nice time, talking to friends. I was playing with a friend underneath the kitchen table, doing kid things, and the adults were sitting around having conversation, doing their thing. My dad comes in, starts yelling, screaming. Him and my mom get into it, and they start yelling back and forth at each other. And my mom was always somebody who, she didn't back down from an argument at all. She would instigate, if anything. So she started doing that. She started instigating, and it just, escalated everything. And my dad went behind her, and he started beating the crap out of her, just like gorilla style. Just started beating down on her head. She was like sitting down in front of him, and I was under the table just screaming, just begging for him to stop, and just crying, and he just went into like a blind rage, and you could see the blackness in his eyes, and he just went blank, and he just kept beating on her head. And he took her head in his hands like he was gonna break her neck. I remember begging him not to kill my mom. I thought she was gonna die. And somebody grabbed my hand and just took me out of the room, and I thought that was the last time I was ever gonna see her. I thought he was gonna kill her. And somehow she talked him out of it. She slipped out of it. Okay, so I'm definitely having a panic attack now. This fucking sucks. So I'm gonna use the Richard Grannon technique. I'm gonna try and pull myself out of this. I can barely think straight right now. So what I'm doing is I'm reliving the emotions that I felt at that time. Fucking sucks. I can barely think straight. So, alright, so you take this hand and you grab your fingers on this hand. And I'm the king of my mental state. I am the king of my mental state. And then you point outwards with your pointer finger. That is my inner critic. He has no power. You're not in control. I'm free to leave anytime I feel threatened. I can say no thank you to anyone who violates my boundaries. Everything is okay. I'm safe. Nobody's trying to hurt me. Everything is alright. I'm okay. I'm not in trouble. Everything is alright. I'm safe. Everything is alright. I'm safe. Everything is alright. I'm alright. No one wants to hurt me. Nobody's criticizing me. Nobody's laughing at me. Nobody wants to hurt me. Nobody wants to harm me. Everything is alright. I am safe. And then this one, you just check in with yourself. See what you need. Do I need water? Do I need somebody to hold me and tell me it's alright? Which I really do right now, but there's no one around. Do I need to eat? Do I need sleep? Whatever it is you need. As you can see, this one is what brought me out of it. I feel all right now. My heart stopped pounding. I'm breathing pretty normally. I always hyperventilate like 24/7. So that's just how it goes. But I'm not, my brain isn't exploding from fear, anymore. I'm not shutting down. I'm doing okay now. My adrenaline isn't going full force. As you can see, I'm pretty normal now. Sometimes this will be the one that does it. Sometimes this one will do it. Sometimes this one will do it. It's you never know what's going to happen. So I just wanted to showcase that this really does work, and that anybody can use it at any time. I was having an MRI one time, and I was in the middle of it, 20 minutes in the middle of it, and I went to go adjust, and I had this thing over my face, and it was pinning me down, and I couldn't move. And when I realized I couldn't move, I went into a horrible panic attack, flashback, and probably one of the worst ones I've had in a while. And I just immediately grabbed my thumb and went through all of them, and it brought me right out of it, and I was able to finish it. So it's a really, really powerful technique. I recommend it to anybody who has flashbacks, emotional flashbacks. Unfortunately, I don't think it will work on visual flashbacks if you have them. But anybody with PTSD and you have emotional flashbacks, definitely use it. It's a really powerful technique. And as anybody knows, with PTSD, we need, all the help we can get. And this is a great, powerful tool. So I just really wanted to showcase that and give everyone out there a little hope. I'm going to try and do some other videos too. I want to try and walk you guys through doing an emotional literacy exercise, and I have a few other ideas that I want to do. So we'll see. This is my first video I've ever done, so we'll see how it goes. I think it went pretty good, so we'll see what the response is. Anyways, have a good one. Take it easy. Later.